Alright, welcome back. This is a different video. So, as you know, obviously we have the patch coming around the corner, the major balance patch for this game, Guilty Gear Strive. You know there's the roadmap. Obviously we're about to get dizzy very soon, and like I said, there's going to be a major balance patch. Obviously, aka the October patch, right? You've probably seen it on Twitter, you've probably heard about it, you've probably thought about what you want yourself. So I went ahead and posted a tweet, and I said, basically, I'll put the tweet on the screen, basically stated that I wanted to make a video on what the community wants. I said, yo, if you have any buffs or nerfs or system changes you want, anything you expect that you would want the game to have in Season 4, some changes, then put it down below. And we got 72 comments here, and I promised, well, 72, but I might record again tomorrow if more people end up commenting, so it's 72 for now at the time of this recording, but who knows, maybe there not going to be another part, but I'll probably just record again and then combine the two and make it look like one video. Thank you everyone that commented. The Twitter is Dominic_Jenk if you want to go follow it, but anyways, let's, I promise I'd read every single comment, and I'll put every single comment on the screen. I'm sorry, editor. Yes. But, I mean, let's just start from the top. The first one we have is from Fern, from Fern22, my good friend. He says, I want them to give Kai a gun. Okay, moving on. We have a comment from DJ the Yandere. Zato friend. There are a few things, like Asuka shouldn't be able to super if he has no mana. I really like the idea of exhaustion being Zato's new move, and please make Invite Hell hard knockdown. Okay, so I guess I won't go over, I'm gonna go over every comment. I'm gonna read every comment, I should say, but I guess there are some things that some people may not understand. Just for the more technical characters. For example, some people might complain about Asuka, and so I guess I'll, you know, for someone who plays the character, I will, or just knows a lot about the game, I will show you what they're talking about. So, for this change in particular, what he means is that Asuka Super is very broken. Obviously, we've all seen it. It's very fast. I mean, I'll put the startup on the screen. I believe it's 6 frames. And then 1 frame post flash. Very strong super. The complaint is when he's out of mana, so how should I even... Oh, you know what? Oh. So when he's out of mana, he can do this, right? And obviously the super is very plus, and it's very plus on hit as well. And the argument is, what DJ is saying is, make it so he can't do that. So when he's out of mana, he actually has to scramble a little more and put himself more at a risk instead of just putting out the super. As you know, one of the main complaints about the super as well is when Johnny breaks the wall. Oh my gosh. Okay. One of the things Asuka does is this, right? And obviously, the only character in the game that can jump this is Milia, maybe Chip, but I believe it's only Milia from what I understand. Characters can't jump that, so if you break the wall, if you break his mana and you break the wall, that super will always clip you. So it's pretty annoying. It's a very strong super. Obviously, there's some counterplay to it, like obviously Johnny can do this through it, Viking can do her gun super through it, Axel can do the time stop, but that's more, again, these are not at the round start distance though, post wall break, which DJ isn't talking about. I believe he's more referring to just in general, in neutral, just throwing out the super for fun, just to stall is a little too strong, as it is. He shouldn't be able to do it, which I understand. It's a nerf, it's a big nerf, but I understand it. And obviously, exhaustion, I believe that's a move from the older Guilty Gear, so if you know, you know. I did not play the game like that, so I will not speak on it, because I don't want to give wrong information, but if you know what that is, then you know that's what he's referring to. And then lastly would be Zato's Invite Hell. So obviously, as someone that also plays Zato, as you know, obviously I play Zato, I play Asuka. If you know, I play Little Sin as well. The Invite Hell change would be huge. It would be okay. So one of the main problems Zato has is he doesn't get confirms off his hits. So for example, that's not a combo. That's not a combo. And obviously, you can do it off H normals, so 5H Invite Hell works. But these aren't combos. He can't combo anything, right? They're 2K2D Invite Hell, but off S normals, he can't combo anything. P normals, K normals, slash normals, can't combo an Invite Hell. So DJ isn't saying speed it up so he can get combos. He's saying that if someone runs into it in neutral, so for example, if I do, oh, Johnny's broken. Okay, there we go. This would hard knockdown. So it wouldn't be a soft knockdown, it would be a hard knockdown, which would be huge. I'm not sure how good it would make Zato. It's something that all Zato players have thought about, but I guess we would actually need to get our hands on it to see how good it would actually be. I've talked to some of the Zatos about it, I've talked to Sechi, I've talked to Pep about it. Overall, if that's it, and that's the only thing he does get, then it's not, we don't think it would be enough, but yeah, that's what he's referring to. But let's get to the next comment. We will go, oh my gosh, okay, this one's gonna be a funny one. So, I have one from my friend Coda, and I will put the message on the screen. They said, can I leave a voice message to put on the video? And I guess we will let them do that. Alright, let's listen.
What I want for season 4 is something very simple. I want the 3 amigos, the 3 stooges, the 3 musketeers of bum-assery to be killed, deleted, murdered, maimed, put 6 feet under. Whatever you want to call it. I need Alba, Johnny, and Slayer to die, bro. I need them to explode, please.
Beautiful. That was Coda's message. Yeah, and I guess, spoiler alert, I mean, I don't think it'll be a surprise to anyone. The most complained I think the most, like, repeated comment will be something about nerfing Slayer. Some aspect of Slayer and some aspect of Johnny. And maybe Abba as well. I think everyone just hates these Season 3 characters. So a lot of Wild Assault complaints and a lot of Johnny, Abba, and Slayer complaints as well. But again, I won't talk about them now because again, I believe that there will be more comments about them. So let's just move on. Let's get to the next comment where it is Muffins. Muffin Boy, the May player. Muffin says, I want my 6P wall bounce back. That shit had sauce and Anji losing his kneecaps. Okay, so Anji nerfs and 6P wall bounce. That was, I believe this was an early Season 1 thing. I'm not sure if anyone here remembers, but if you did play the game in Season 1, you remember Soul actually had a 6P wall bounce that led to some insane combos, but they took it away, and now, yeah, they took it away. May, I guess, also had the same thing. I don't actually remember May having that. I remember Soul having it, but not May. But yeah, I won't even attempt to do the May combos because I'm not a charge character person, but also that character's lame. But if you can imagine a route, for example, would be, they left the route. I'll put the message they said so you can go try out the route yourself. But yeah, and obviously Anji losing his kneecaps, that would be great. I think we all want Anji nerfed. I think that character should, I made a video with Uigui. The title of that video is like the character that should never have been buffed or like made good. He's meant to be that. The fact that he's actually like really strong and arguably in the top 5, I don't think he's in the top 5, but I know there are people out there that do, is definitely a scary thought. So him definitely getting some balance adjustments would be blessed. That would be a great timeline. Moving on. Okay, we have Sid Victor, or Sid the Abyssal. His message says, don't touch Slayer's kit. The biggest actual genuine problem is that any idiot can just do red RC, charge dust, close last 6H, P pile bunker, and kill the opponent in just as many hits as the guy is doing genuinely hard combos. lower his base damage a ton, but in return, reduce scaling. Okay, so what Sid Victor is saying is, he's saying, okay, and you guys can let me know what you think of this. He's saying, combos like this need to do less damage, right? He's saying make this stuff like this do less damage, or I guess right. That's about 50. That's about 50% on Johnny. Obviously, if I were to plot Zato, you guys would see like 70%. So he's saying nerf this, but in return, make pile bunker loops do more damage. So decrease the scaling on the loops. Because as it is right now, so if I were to do a loop combo, which would look, forgive me. Oh. Okay, so Sid Victor is saying decrease the scaling on that. That was about 80% on Johnny, with... Oh, I don't know why I have risk on. I must have been labbing something the other day. But that's like, what, like 10% risk? I guess I can double check. 17. Sorry, 17% risk. So, I mean... Oh, wait, forgive me. So, this, for example, would be enough. Yeah, this would be another example. This would do more damage, which, no. But, again, like I said, I'm gonna read every comment. I don't necessarily agree with it, but, yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe this would be, make people more inclined to do his harder combos, so it wouldn't just be like, you know, like, oh, goo goo gaga, let me just do this, or this. This doesn't really help, though, because a lot of us do, I don't know, it's weird. I guess let me know what you guys think, but I don't know. Next comment. Okay. We have Aloe, a fellow Zato player. I personally think the game would benefit if they would rework the risk gauge, as some characters are very easily able to abuse this mechanic. Also, adding some form of penalty for using Wild Assault, like burst come back slower, or less meter gain for a few seconds would be nice as well. This is... I 100% agree with this. So as it is now, if you play Kai, right, you probably just do this, right? This, right? And then you get hit, and then you just, right, you // Wild Assault, right? You're just buffering it, right? So you're not getting it on whiff, but if you get on hit, then obviously you get on hit. And knowing Kai, right, especially if it's the right hit, you know, you do shit like this, right? If they're crouching, whatever, right? And you just get a full wall-to-wall combo, right? And you break the wall, and you build meter, and then you do super, and it's like, for 50 of your burst, for half your burst, which you're about to get back anyway for positive bonus, you just broke the wall, right? Where before, he obviously would not be able to do anything close to that. I agree with this change. This would be nice. The risk gauge would be a great change as well. I think a lot of moves built. I think a lot of Strive's damage is actually from. I mean, you guys have heard the saying, like, Kai becomes Soul with, like, 20 risk on the opponent, right? So it's like, risk is such a crazy mechanic that is just, definitely I would like to see it go toned down a bit. I know they've nerfed it in the past by making it go down faster when you're not blocking. Maybe something else that switch it up. But yeah, I definitely agree with adding some penalty for using Wild Assault. Maybe if you use Wild Assault, then you actually don't get... If you use Wild Assault combo, maybe you don't get your burst back for positive. Maybe you just get the meter. I don't know, right? Or maybe you get meter penalty for your tension. Who knows? We'll have to see. Okay, this one is great. We have Hot Dog Eater 13, which is my friend Javon. Javo says, I don't have any super complaints, but personally, I'd want to be able to use Wild Assault charged for hard knockdown. It would give positive bonus for sure, but just something that kind of allows you to pick how I spend my meter. Might be broken though. Okay, so what he means by this is, obviously, with the most recent patch, if you did... you would get the hard knockdown, so you get a safe jump or whatever Oki you wanted, and it was just if you had 50 bar, and this is I guess the Milia complaint. If you broke the wall or if you wall stuck, right? So in this situation right here, if you just built 50 bar, right? So you would spend it to do super, right? And now you'd be in this situation with no bar. So your offense wouldn't be as threatening. But when you broke the wall with burst, and obviously we've all played this patch, I'm just kind of going back and retouching on some things. When you use wall assault, you would save that bar. And that, it was so toxic. I think everyone is glad that's gone. It was very toxic. It was ugly. I don't ever want it to wild assault to hard knockdown again. I actually want it to get nerfed even more. But Javon has his own opinions, so I respect that. Alright. Maddie says, give Abba Command Dash a variation with a shorter duration and shorter distance traveled. Make normal mode JH a real button by making it faster and giving it a wall bounce. Turn Donzai into a Rekka like Nago DP. Okay. Okay, so what he is referring to, so the Command Dash, this. So he's saying give Abba a variation where maybe if you hold back on the D-pad, it's shorter than this, so like a little micro dash, and it's obviously would be less duration, and then keep this. So two different versions of this basically, and then JH wall bounce. I don't know Abba combos, but maybe something like that, right? And then you'd land and do some cool shit. I don't really know. I don't play the character, but that's just me imagining. Donzai a Rekka. So if you don't know, this is Donzai. And just for reference, let me get Nago on the screen as well. Give me 1 second. Okay, so as some people know, at the start of the game, Nago's DP was you couldn't just do the first hit. You had to do both hits, right? So let me turn off counter hit. Sorry about that. So basically, it looked like this, right? Now it's obviously a Rekka, so you can do this, or you can go into the other version or the follow-up version, which is the overhead, which is the overhead. So basically, Maddie is saying that Abba should have this, so you do this, so you'd be able to just do the first hit. I don't know what Maddie would want the first hit on block to be. Obviously, I believe it would be minus. I don't think he means it would be plus. You can keep the plus frames on the second hit. I don't think we should even be talking about Abba buffs. I'm not gonna lie. But again, this is what Maddie is looking for. If you agree with him, then yeah, let me know. Next, we have, oh my gosh, Kafka. Okay, we have Kafka, and I'm not even gonna read his message. I'm just gonna put it on the screen. Just shake your head. I'm not even gonna. That's my Zato brethren right there. How can you even say that? Okay, Gummy says, or the Gumster says, Beyblade low gone, but JD wall bounces everywhere for Nago. So what he's referring to, so obviously, you know, Nago has the samurai mix, right? Obviously, like I said, with this being a high, right? So he's the samurai mix of high lows. He's saying get rid of it, the low, it's cringe, don't want it, I don't know why it's in the game. But in return, make Nago JD, wall bounce anywhere on the screen. So you would essentially get a combo here, where if you see like in the corner, right, you can obviously go into special moves and get a wall break there of your choice, but that's basically the end of it. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. Sure, I guess, sure. Next, we have my friend Magic, the Testament player. He says, for Testament stuff, I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of the Testament mains when I say that our character doesn't actually need too many changes themselves. But that there exist characters in the meta who simply ignore Testament's game plan that should probably be tuned down. I'm gonna guess we're gonna refer to the top tiers, and I'm gonna sum this up by saying Magic just wants the top tiers to fall more in line with their character, which is completely fair to say. Some of the characters, I'll put the other message on the screen, some of the characters they named: Johnny, Slayer, Abba, Happy Chaos, and Ram are to name a few of characters that ignore Testament's neutral. Which neutral is supposed to be their strong point, right? So, I hear you. Don't buff Testament, though. Okay, next we have Sola, my good friend. Okay, Sola says, Kai Farslash needs to have 5... Sorry, I read the bottom part of the message. Again, the messages are going to be on the screen. Kai Farslash needs to have like 5 more frames of recovery minimum. So, off the rip, that would... Kai's Farslash at the start of Season 3 went from however many frames of recovery down to 13 frames of recovery. And then they nerfed it in the patch before the most recent one. They nerfed it from 13 to 16. So Sola's saying from 16 to 21, which would be, that would be bad. that would be bad. Kai would definitely fall on a tier list. That would be 20 frames of recovery is considered a lot. So 21 frames is definitely the button that you watching the video currently, your character probably has a 20 frame recovery button that you're like, oh my gosh, it's so much recovery, I die on whiff. So that's essentially what you would be giving Kai. And then they summed it up with Happy Chaos / Asuka. Burst WinCon needs to punch down somewhere, but I don't know how without nerfing them too hard. I guess to try to answer that as someone who plays Asuka and has played Happy Chaos in the past. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's... Okay, I'm gonna disagree with this, and it's not because I play Asuka and I'm biased. Or maybe I am, but from playing the character, you have to realize one or two things. He's one of the best characters first. If you burst Asuka, or if he burst you, he can be one of the best characters, or the best character after burst, right? Depending on the cards he has. If you burst him or he burst you and he just has, I mean, you guys have, if you watch the Asuka video, you've seen the clip of, the clips of me just bursting and winning, right? And putting you in jail, right? He can be that god tier character after burst, but there are also times that you don't see where he's actually with Zato as the worst character versus burst. For example, if he has no cards and you burst him into the corner, if he has no mana and you burst him. But these are more rare situations. They're not as common, but they still do happen, right? He's not always consistently the best character versus burst. There's times where he actually just loses the game. Even if he's doing a combo, he has you in the Gravity Staff combo, and you burst him, and he's used all of his cards, or he is left with like 3 teleports or whatever, then it's pretty bad. He's not that character that you think he would be. Obviously, approaching him is scary, and the game plan around Asuka fighting him is scary overall, but he varies on the burst, on the strength of using burst scale, in my opinion. Happy Chaos, I won't speak for him too much, because I know the Happy Chaos players will get mad, but I mean, Happy Chaos is obviously very strong versus burst. Not as strong as he used to be. I mean, his neutral is nowhere near what it used to be. Still broken, right? Still skips the screen, still doesn't really play the game, but obviously he's not as toxic as he once was. Especially versus burst. Yeah, so I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Toaster says, Zato's P buttons no longer have travel time. That would be a great change. That would help in some matchups, but if that's all he's getting, he's gonna remain the worst. But yes, that's definitely a great quality of life change, but I don't think they'll do it because they're not really too fond of doing reverts. Next, D4C Heartbeam says, Beyblade style moves have mad whiff recovery. That's it. Beyblade style moves? Okay, well, let's go to character select. I think he's talking about maybe just lariats in general? So, by that, I'm gonna assume you mean Nago. I'm gonna assume you mean, like, Bandit Revolver? Dolphin, maybe? Is that maybe one that he's talking about? Dolphin? Bridal Express? Mappa Hunch? Bridget's little roller skate, whatever. I don't... Geo's spiral kick? Or like the spiral kick thingy. Ram flip. But he said Beyblade style moves, so I'm... Oh, yeah, obviously, yes, Beyblade should have more recovery. But I'm guessing he just means, like, broken shit. So I'm assuming he's talking about, like, May Dolphin as well. I guess, and, like, Bandit Revolver. But yes, I do agree. Make the belligerent moves less belligerent. I agree. So, next we have Kribby. Kribby says, Johnny players won't suck and be carried by him. Well, like I said at the start of the video, Slayer, Johnny, and Abba, there will probably be a lot of complaints, especially for Slayer and Johnny, as those are the two most talked about characters right now. I agree. Let's nerf Johnny. Next, Robbie the Bobby says, okay. I mean, the message is probably just sitting on the screen. I mean, your choice, editor. So now we have Jacob. Jacob says, make Happy Chaos Gunflick into a DP. Jacob, you are, you want the game to die, I see. If you don't know, the Gunflick, this is the Gunflick. It is, I believe, plus like 3 on block, or plus 2 or something. Maybe plus 4. I don't know. It's high attack level, plus on block move, right? Obviously, if you fought Happy Chaos, you've seen this move. Very good move. Launches on hit. It does everything, right? Make it to a DP. We gotta be better. Next comment comes from Silent. Silent says, the game seems to have gotten more and more aggressive through every season. So I would love to see some of the damage toned down a bit. Or them to change moves that are overly belligerent. I agree. Along with them buffing things like the Flex Shield and IB. Okay. You lost me on the last part. So, my personal thoughts on this. Yes, tone down the damage. Yes, nerf the belligerent moves, right? I'm not going to even name them. You can probably imagine. When I say the word belligerent, you probably imagine Mappa Hunch. So let's just nerf it, right? And then buffing things like the Flex Shield and IB. Here's the scary part. So if you buff IB, then that probably means you're making it so you either get meter back, like on block, obviously, like every time you IB you get meter or more meter, and then that also could mean you make the IB window bigger, which is a scary thought. I don't think they should do that, because that would be, I think IB is, I guess, a skill, and I guess it's fine as is, right? I mean, there are some people out there that are just the IB demons. I don't think we should make the window bigger. Definitely don't buff deflect. The only thing that should be changed about deflect is the actual input for using it, as it interrupts, as sometimes you actually get it when you don't want to. But I don't think we should be buffing deflect. No. Deflect is already so, like, toxic as is. I don't think we should be buffing it, but again, I could be wrong. Next comment comes from Kensei. I want Kai's JD to reach lower so I can do close slash JD routes on crouchers. I also want the hitbox of HDP, Vapor Thrust, to be extended backwards so I can do cross-ups without the stars aligning. Cross-ups with the DP, I won't speak on that, nor will I demonstrate that, but let me grab Kai so I can show you what he's talking about with the JD change. What he is referring to is... So before, Kai's optimal combo off a close slash counter hit was this. And you do 2S. But due to the start of Season 3, they made this go from 11 to 10. And then they made this go from 10 to 11. So you can't do that anymore. So you have to use JD. So obviously if Kai counter hits you... Oh, sorry. If Kai counter hits you while you're crouching, the combo would probably look something like this. Right? You now do... oh my gosh, wait. No, go back. Oh my gosh, sorry. I have it all wrong. Sorry. You can't do this on crouchers. You have to... You land the close slash, and you have to see whether they're crouching or not, and then you can do... There we go. Okay, there we go. Yep. Okay, so this combo. Sorry about that. I had it mixed up. Basically what Kensei is saying, make this so you can do it on crouchers. Because as it is now, if you're getting kind of hit close slash by Kai and you're crouching, there's no real fancy combo like you can do if they're standing. So he's just saying make it hit a little lower so that you're able to go into this route. Because obviously you see it whiffs on crouchers. I mean, right? It just, yeah. So that's a fair change. Scambolini briefly talked about this if you watched the Kai video that I did with him. So, I mean, I don't really know how to feel, but if you're gonna do this, nerf Wild Assault. Nerf Orange Wild Assault. Kai don't need this and Orange Wild Assault. So, yeah. Next comment comes from Medic, and this is actually a very controversial one. I'm about to put the comment on the screen as I read it. But let me go ahead and grab Asuka, because I don't even think people know that this actually exists for the character. So let me go ahead and grab them. One thing about... Okay, so let me read Medic's comment first. So Medic says, let Asuka cancel Cube Super into Mana Regen so he can get some of his resource back on Super Wall Break like every other character that has one. Make the ratio of tension health mana the same at all distances. Okay, so what they are saying by this is, for example, so I want you to pay attention to my bar. The mana bar, that is. Okay? Okay. So you see how it is now, right? Let me even do this. I'll get it as low as possible without breaking. Okay. So there's nothing there. Look at... Wait, let me just make sure it's... Gauge... Okay, yeah. Look at his health bar. Look at his health bar, and look how fast the mana refills. Ready? So to get everything back, it's around there. So I'm sitting back full screen. You can see where it is. If my editor wants, maybe they'll put like a little marker or something. I don't really know. I don't really care. Or you watching could just keep an eye on it yourself. Okay, so keep that in mind. It took that speed, and again, I will do it. Actually, no, I'm not going to do it one more time. But okay. So I have nothing. Pay attention to my mana when I'm here. Ready? Look how fast it refills, and look how much health it takes. Right? You see the difference? It refills a lot faster, and it obviously costs a lot less HP. Basically, Medic is saying, make it so from the close distance, it would also be the same effect as if you were here. Which would be crazy, because if you were to do this, you would even for someone who plays Asuka himself, you would have to nerf the character. I don't know what they would do, but you would definitely have to nerf him in some way. This would be really like good. I'm all for it. For Medic's reasoning, I'll put on the screen. They said the regen rate penalty is a punishment enough for being spaced. Losing 32% of your health for a bar and a half of your meter for a crime of wanting to restore your resource at full screen is just silly. They're not wrong, but I don't know. I feel okay. Maybe Asuka doesn't even need a nerf with this, but just the devs would definitely nerf him if they did this, because I think they want to nerf him. Like, I think he's on the list for one of the characters getting nerfed. I don't think he should get nerfed, but people hate this character, bro. He's a knowledge check, right? And when you're forced to lab, and when you're forced to go through the knowledge check, it's not fun, and the devs know that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, because this is obviously a big one. Next we have Big Booty Man 445 saying, nerfing positive bonus by removing all the buff besides tension gain, making Wild Assault give meter penalty, making the amount of risk gain be based on characters, make blue and white Wild Assault more consistently throwable / backdashable, and make orange also backdashable. So here's the issue with this. So yes, I do agree. Nerfing positive bonus by making it not fill your burst would be insane. That would be good. I don't think if you break the wall, you should just get your burst, like all your burst back. Because if you do this, you're also nerfing using Wall Assault in combos, so you would nerf characters like Kai and Sol and whoever relies on using Orange Wall Assault. Like, Orange Wall Assault needs to get nerfed in some way, because as it is now, the best way to describe it, it's just another red RC. It's literally just another red RC, which shouldn't be a thing, especially if the combo is gonna wall break and then you're just gonna get the resource back and you're building meter to do super at the same time. It's a little too much. Also, he says, yeah, making Wall Assault give meter penalty, that would be huge. Obviously, if you use a super, you're a meter penalty for a bit. You're not just gaining meter anymore, right? You have to wait a bit before you get that meter gain back. So that'd be huge. Make blue and white more consistently throwable. I don't know how they would do this, but I can't answer. He says at the end, make orange backdashable. That would mean, okay, so that would mean slowing down Orange Wild Assault, but you can't slow it down because then it becomes slower like Blue Wild Assault while not having the benefits of Blue Wild Assault on block. So I'm not really sure how they can get around that, but hey, I'm all for Wild Assault nerfs. Let's get rid of them, right? Let's get rid of them. And I don't think anyone likes Wild Assault, so just nerf them to the point where they're like, you would never use it. Sunburn says that one character, Zado 2. Yeah, I don't I don't know, that one dude with the shadow. Make that guy finish functioning character. Arxis, please buff him. Shanks. So, Shanks for you says, Elfo S Rekka should launch on hit. P Rekka gapless. Remove 3 recovery from 214K. Make S Rekka airborne on frame 5. Make level 2s. Oh, sorry. Make 2S level 3. All wild assaults should either cost burst. Okay, I see what he's saying. Cost 100 burst. Cost tension penalty for 8 seconds. Activated for 50. Yeah, okay. So what Shanks is saying is basically wild assault should cost tension instead of burst, which doesn't make too much. I hear what he's saying, but that doesn't make too much sense just because the flex shield is also tied to burst, and they're both meant to be tied to burst. So I guess if you do one, you'd have to do one like the other. So then there would just be no like thing that uses burst anymore. It would be a lot different, but you know, sure. Cost tension penalty for 8 seconds if you use Wild Assault. I do agree with that. Yes, nerf Wild Assault, obliterate it. And Wild Assault should cost 100% of your burst. Yes. yes, I'm tired of May doing this into whatever the fuck, and dude, I literally just mashed, I swear I just mashed S and H, I just broke the wall. Right, yeah, get rid of it. Instead of 50, make it cost, I think the flex should cost 100 as well. Make them both cost 100. And then on top of that, make it so you don't get burst back during positive bonus. So that if you use Wild Assault, you're cooked. Like, you actually, if you get put on block, you're finished. Like, you actually need to block. You can't just burst your problems away, right? So that'd be great. As far as the Rekka changes, I don't play Elfel at all. So I can't really talk too much about the changes that they're saying. But they said make 2S a level 3. I'm gonna assume what they mean by that is, so Elfel can't do 2S into 2H. So I'm gonna guess that would unless it's on crouching. So I'm gonna guess that would, yeah, I believe she can do it on crouching. So I'm gonna guess, and if she can't, then I believe Shanks is saying make it so she can do 2S 2H consistently on both crouching and standing. Remove coverage from 214K, which I believe is Bridal Express, the Lariat move that can be plus on block. I guess. And then obviously, Elfel's issues aren't really on block, it's more on hit, for dealing with DPs and bash, so I guess this would just help make her overall more consistent. So, some consistencies, changes for Elfel, sure. If you play Elfel and you have an idea what maybe these mean, then please let me know. I'll probably ask some Elfel friends after this recording, but next we have non-binary Val, and Val says, Lacey says, make Elfel awesome, make Jacko and Bridget awesome, and my goat Sin. Yes, I agree. Buff Sin, don't buff Bridget, don't buff Jacko, and let's not buff Elfel. There we go. I agree. Next we have Lakey. Lakey says, it's already late for them to change until next year, but I genuinely want them to nerf the wrist system. It caused a lot of frustration most of the time. I agree, and I believe throughout this video we have heard people, the comments mention changing the wrist system, so I'm here for it. Let's change it. I think that'd be nice. Next we have my goat Sasuke. Sasuke says, Big Driver and Elk Hunt become attack level 3. Make their follow-ups inflict large counter hits, so the window to input the dash is larger, which makes confirms mid-screen easier. And then make eat remove any stamina penalties current. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, make still growing is aka eat, so I just called it eat. Make eat remove any stamina penalties currently active, and make it so lobster meat are not. And then it says continued. I'll put it on the screen. Time-based, but take effect the next time you take damage from a combo/combo the opponent. Make 6H do 50 damage and 6K do 38. Longer reach on 2K, then you have a godlike character. So, what Sasuke is referring to, so as it is now, so if I have Kai, let's have him mash on hits. Alright, sure, let's do this. So, okay. So, as it is now, this is basically like one of the combos you would get. Basically what obviously I'm doing it in training mode, so I know he's gonna get counter hit, right? But basically in like a real match, right, you don't have a lot of time to actually do the dash, right? I guess let me do right, so make it larger counter, so basically you have more time, which makes combos more consistent. Attack level 3 priority on this would be insanely good. I would, me personally, like, if you were able to do like this and then close slash, that would be huge. As it is now, you can get like a 2P, so you can do like this, right? Right, but make it, the combos better, more consistent. Make it so he gets better reward, or I guess better combos, and you have more time to actually like react and do the combo for his specials if they get counter hit. So yeah, more time to do the dash, higher attack levels, 6H damage buffs, 6K damage buffs. Oh wait, it's counter hit. So damage buff on this, damage buff on that. And a longer 2K, which, sure. I'm a little biased, so I'll tell you what I want for Sin. Currently, Sin, he has this problem where, so if I do, let's have a mash on block. Let's have a mash like 2S or something. Okay, so as it is for Sin, so if you do, this is currently minus on hit, which is an issue. I think they should increase the attack level on this. So a lot of times versus Sin, you're just you're basically, a lot of times people just mash throw because they think Elk Hunt is coming. So then, so like for example, it would look like this. Right? So it looked like this, right? So basically what I'm saying I want is make it so if they're just mashing throw, that this is plus on hit, so you get a combo. Obviously that in combo, but I'm saying I would want it, because as it stands, Elk Hunt currently does give a combo. So if I put them no block and get hit, that combos, right? And then on crouching, you can do this. Oh. Right, stuff like that. So just make it so you get actual reward for calling them out for just mashing throw like an idiot. That would be nice. I do agree with the changes for Big Driver. I also think they should fix the hurt box on it, as the hurt box on it is huge, and it loses to some things it just shouldn't. So making the attack level better and just making the move overall better would be nice. So buff to this, And then that's pretty much all I ask. Obviously, there's some other things. Maybe they can, like, I don't know, maybe touch his S normals a bit. Who knows? But yeah, that's what Sasuke is basically saying. I don't know how to properly say this, but All Christie's says, I want them to remove the wall and just loop the stage around infinitely. And this question confused me, so I asked them, what would determine when the stage loops? Would there still be hard knockdown after like the stage, like you loop to the next stage? And they said, no, there would be no corners anymore. I don't know how to even describe this. I don't even know what that would look like. But if you have an idea of what this might look like, let me know. Sounds interesting, but I don't think it'll happen. Okay, Water1 says, game is way too far gone to ever be good, unfortunately. I can go on forever, but first and foremost, all Season 3 mechanic changes gotta get reverted. Every single one of them. Then we can start talking about how to fix the game. All forms of RC gotta have much higher damage scaling, which I agree. I don't think like this should be doing as much damage as it does with RC. Right, or just in general, like just hits, like for example, like I guess stuff like that. I mean, I guess just RC hits. I guess another, okay, let me grab a character that I can do a proper example with for like an RC hit. But yeah, basically what Water is saying is basically RC is just a get out of jail card. It could be the greatest combo tool. It could be a lot of things. So yeah, so stuff like this. Yeah, that's basically it, right? Yeah, so higher damage scaling, and then he says RC is a trash mechanic that allows for a lot of cool stuff, but mostly a massive fix-it button that lets you play like an idiot and get rewarded anyways. If we want to do all the funny RC shit, fine, but getting half my health bar of trying to whiff punish your whiff, or skipping neutral, or BRC 50-50ing you, right? I mean, I think we know who he's referring to, Johnny, Soul, etc. Or fixing a dropped combo, nah, I'm good on that. Game makes it way too easy to confirm the super high damage, make it hit confirming harder too. I agree, and I also, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with everything he says. I don't really need to go too far in depth with it. Yeah, that was pretty straightforward. I definitely agree. Next, we have Izzy. Izzy says, adjustment to risk. I find it strange that they added Wild Assault. They changed every mechanic to accommodate it, except for risk. I would personally reduce risk on block if Wild Assault connects. So basically, he's referring to this, so... So you see the risk that it builds. Basically saying reduce this, because if you have Wild Assault, you're probably going to use it like this, right, on block. Depending on which one you have. Or no, not even, sorry. Orange users use it on block as well. It's too many times I see this. Yeah, I definitely agree. A nerf to risk would be great. It would make the game much more stable as well. So I agree. Okay, Blue Hex says, system mechanics. I want them to do something with IB. You can make it so it gives more meter, or you get no risk, or something along these lines to make defense more rewarding. Force Sin, buff Eat, JD buffs, increase the attack level on specials, add air beak driver and charge beak driver. Okay, so yeah, Blue Egg has the same idea as me and Sasuke in terms of adding higher attack levels to his specials. That would be very nice. Yeah, adding higher attack levels to his specials should be very nice. He's saying buff Eat. I don't think they'll buff Eat, right? Another thing he's saying is that he wants, yeah, charge beak driver like the older games and air beak driver like the older game, which just won't happen. But yes, I do agree. Make defense more rewarding for this game. That would be very nice. Getting meter for your IBs would be sick. Or yeah, just no risk build overall. Like, that'd be sick. That'd be nice. Next, we have Zano. Zano says, system changes. Make Gold Burst punishable on block. Yes. Give Wild Assault meter penalty. Yes. Blue burst changes, make it so you don't get sent to the other side of the screen when doing combos. I don't know about that. And then he says, characters, Slayer. He wants Slayer, increase 2H low crush frames on from 5 to 8 to 9, which would be huge. If you play any gear at all, it does not matter what floor of tower you're on, whether you're 1 or Celestial, you've gotten hit by 2H, it goes over your buttons, it's not fun, it's actually pretty ridiculous. So basically just saying it does make it so it doesn't go over your buttons as fast, so you actually have more time to hit him out of it before you just get killed, which would be great. Paration nerfs on all of his normals, so damage nerf, which would be great. Paration nerf to pile bunker, yep, like Sid Victor said earlier, make it so his 3-hit combos aren't just doing your optimal combos with, like, you know, setup and meter, right? So yeah, make it not so ugu gaga. Make K-Mappa -4 to -5 on block. Okay. Increase startup on Master's Hammer, make it more easy to throw. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. Master's Hammer is the reset side swap, or I guess you can keep the same side as well. But the slower reset that's plus Kajillion block that kills you on counter hit, right? Get rid of it. And then he goes, ABBA. Oh, increase the hurt box on leap. So obviously the hop move, this is another move that if you play any, does not matter whether you're floor 1 or Celestial, you've seen the hop move that goes over your buttons. It gives a mean combo on counter hit. Right, not fun. Increase the hurt box. Should not be stuffing moves like far slash, Mappa, beak driver. So I think he's referring to the jealousy rage. I believe if you've been on Twitter, you've seen the clips of ABBA doing her in jealousy rage, doing the overhead, the hop, and it just goes over everything in the game, right? Make it so the hurt box is a little bigger so you can actually hit her out of it instead of it just beating your buttons when you're trying to guess. I think one time she ran at me, I pressed far slash and she went over my far slash, like, it's insane. And then increase pushback on key grab. So as you know, the key grab is obviously the move that gives her all of her meter back, or not all of it, but a good chunk of her meter back. On block, it's plus, he's saying give it more pushback so you're not just like dealing with this guard crush in your face, right? Plus on block, guard crush in your face, which I agree, right? Nerf ABBA, we love ABBA nerfs. Okay, Happy Rio says, big body health should be reduced with how strong the win cons are of some that outweigh the weakness of being a big body. Johnny and Slayer are the two main offenders of this IMO, without easy access, say, card Oki or making you block Mappa has. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Again, another comment about Johnny and Slayer. Get him out, kill him, get him gone. That would be great. Mega Aurora says, I don't care about the rest of the cast, not gonna lie. I think the game is in a fine spot at the moment with new characters that are the outliers. But give my characters quality of life changes, please, nothing crazy. If you don't know, Mega Aurora plays Biken and Soul. Let's not buff Soul, but I'll give you the Biken buffs, brother. Let's stay away from Soul buffs, though. Cancel IGB, or LIGB, says, alright, keep in mind this from a Slayer player. I would like to see some of Slayer's damage nerfed, but give him some interesting routing instead of having routing that I could teach a chimpanzee. Also get rid of 2H Last Horizon, that should be a thing. Obviously, if you don't know what Last Horizon is, that's the 100-bar super that just kills you. Yeah, I don't think 2H Last Horizon. Well, okay, I think it should work. I guess that part's fine, because if you don't make that work, then I guess you're either saying increase the startup on Last Horizon or make it so 2H doesn't launch. Which it is a launch, like it should launch. So I guess it's fair that it should work. I think we should just nerf other areas of Slayer. 4Hop says, low-key hope all Season 3 characters besides Alpha get their HP nerfed. They got too much IMO. You are spitting, brother. You are spitting. Obviously, if you've been on Twitter at all, you've seen the arguments and the conversations that Johnny has too much HP, Slayer has too much HP, ABBA has too much HP. The meta of the game is just high HP characters outside of broken ass Happy Chaos, right? Like, you look at the top tiers of the game and they all have high HP, right? So, outside of Ram and Happy Chaos, of course, which Happy Chaos actually has average HP. I don't know why. But, yeah, I definitely agree. Nerf their HPs. Or just nerf, maybe not the HPs, but just nerf them all around so that HP is actually, like, not just something we skip over, like, when balancing characters, right? Tube says, give Sidewinder to Soul. Maybe also make Wild Throw do the weird bounce so you get a combo with it. No. I don't think that Soul's command grab should give a combo. If this is the case, then he better get some serious nerfs, because that would mean that you would need RC to confirm. So you would I'm gonna guess, since it's a side swap command grab, that means that, for example, if I throw you out of the corner, then that means you would be getting a a ground bounce into running behind them into a combo that would wall break, like you would put them back in the corner. That sounds crazy. I don't think he should have that. Sadly, Mei has it, but Mei is broken, arguably the best character in the game. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one, but Royce bracket. So this is another Asuka one. Put Asuka's auto import in test case 2, and then put random import in test case 3. Split Exodia in half to make his pressure more interactable, and then buff all his shitty little normals to make him more stable and reliable. So what he's saying is put the auto import in the test case 2. So the auto import is currently this card right here. So obviously if I throw these spells, right, they don't fill. But if I have auto import, they just fill. So then you just, if I just mash, right, you just get, right, it lasts for 5 seconds. Very strong. Exodia is referring to when you get, right, you get that, you get the auto import, and then you get, oh, I passed it, but the 5 fire cubes, right? So that's Exodia. See if I can get it. Yeah, there. So this is considered Exodia. Basically saying just move this card into this test case. So the test case 2 with like the funny staffs, and you get the mix-ups and like the overheads, and this, and right, all the funny stuff, which is cool, but it would nerf Asuka a lot, because test case 3, while it has the strongest cards like Exodia and Arpeggio and the green card and this card and all these cool cards and whatnot, there's a lot of cards in here that just make it inconsistent. So for example, right, like it has a lot of strong cards, but it has a lot of cards that you just can't use. For example, test case 1, you can basically use every spell in here. So for example, this is an attack card, this is an attack card, this is an attack card, this is an attack card. These are more all attack cards right here. More, okay, this is a DP, but this obviously is a buff. Attack card, attack card, attack card, and then you have the 2 staffs, the speed staff and the slow staff, with the speed staff being like the best card in the game, or one of the best moves in the game, I guess. Basically saying just move test case 3, which has the strongest but inconsistent cards, move the auto import to 2, and then which would be, okay, again, for this card, okay, so this card, it makes it so it just, obviously it's called auto import, so it does it for you, right? But with the inconsistencies in this test case, it makes it so it doesn't happen as much. So for example, like, you just can do shit like this, and you have sorry, I'm a little close to the mic, sorry if you heard my controller, but it makes it it makes it so you're not just losing to inconsistency over and over again. It makes it so you can just keep on shuffling until you get what you like. Obviously, the strongest cards are here, but there are some cards that you just can't use like you could in test case 1. So it would nerf him a lot, and I don't want to say how much I personally think it would actually nerf him, but it would nerf him a lot, I'll just say that. And then he adds, buff the cast time, cost on random import, and make Arpeggio less unsafe. So I'm gonna guess that means make it less startup. Revert auto import duration. Oh, well, if you auto import before it got nerfed, it went from 10 seconds to 5, so it's currently 5. It used to be 10. But if he's saying put it in test case 2, then I guess it doesn't matter, because you don't really use that test case anyways. Fix is normal, so /2S 5H 2K. Yeah, I agree. This is 11 frames. Doesn't go too far. It's 11 frames. This is 12 frames, so I guess making that better would be cool. 5H, I guess maybe make it faster so there's not a gap in between 2S and 5H. And then buff is 2K. I guess it's pretty stubby. So Rework instant mana. Okay, and then help slow slow staff. As you know, speed staff is basically the best spell in the game, so there's no reason to ever use the slow one. It doesn't really do anything, just makes them move slower. I mean, it's literally called, it's in the name. It makes it easier for the cubes to hit, and I guess it's really matchup specific on if you would actually use it. If you play Asuka and you have a matchup where you actually use the staff, then let me know. But yeah, overall, those are some interesting changes that you could do to Asuka, but I don't know. Those would definitely be some heavy, that would be a heavy nerf. Josho says, I want them to do something about Slayer's 2H and Mappa. For system changes, a punish counter mechanic would be sick. Other than that, nerf Orange Wall Assault and we're cool. So yeah, another Slayer comment. Obviously the 2H is broken. Nerf it somehow. I don't know, maybe the reward and the low crush on it, right? Make it worse. A punish counter? No. Yes, but he does mention nerf Orange Wall Assault was yes. We're all behind you on that one, brother. Yes, nerf it. I personally liked Alexander says, I personally liked Old Burst. I thought it allowed for characters to do some really cool routing to make burst with. It's unlikely to be changed back, but I thought I'd mention it. No. Okay, so this will never come back, and it never should come back. So I know you remember the days that Zato would do break the law and bait your burst. Happy Chaos would throw curse or do clone mid combo or at the start of his combo and bait your burst. Nago's normals being so disjointed that you can't burst him. Ram being unburstable. Asuka like doing a combo where you're 30 trillion feet up in the air, and then like, you know, you just like, for example, like if I where are you? There. Right, stuff like that. You don't want to do that because you wouldn't be able to burst. So it could be cool, but I think it'd just be too toxic with this current game. I think, again, it could be cool. It would probably be fun to do it, but like having it done to you, it would just be the worst feeling in the world. So, yeah, I don't know. Johto Goat says, I want them to stop handing out Guard Crush and almost riskless neutral skips like candy. Yeah, that would be, I agree. Maybe we shouldn't just be giving out Guard Crushes to every character nowadays, huh? That would be nice. Yeah, word up. Focus says, Orange Wall Assault carrying less momentum in general, as well as damage changes for Soul and Slayer. Yes, so obviously Slayer and Soul nerfs, yes, we're on board. And it's funny that they mentioned, more pushback on Wall Assault, because, if you don't know, this actually just got nerfed. So before, it used to carry momentum, so you would be able to get like a close slash here. So it would look like this, so... Oh. So yeah, you get far slash here, so it doesn't carry your momentum as much. You still get it, but I do agree more pushback, so Orange Waddle Assault isn't great on block. Would be nice. I don't think it should be good on block, so... Yeah, you get far slash here now, which... depending on who you are and how you play, this is actually good for you, because it sets up like shimmies a little better. But again, I definitely agree. More pushback, that'd be great. Sushi O'Neil put a picture of... I'll put the picture on the screen, because like I said, I'm putting every message on the screen. Sushi O'Neil put 2 eddies. Yes. That's all I'll say. Yes, let's do it. 2 eddies. This is the bus we've been looking for. The buffs. BM Sam says, remove Elfelt Valentine. Fair. I don't think anyone likes fighting her. I think we put her lower on a tier list, but I think we all can agree that she's uber cringe, so I agree. CPU says, some kind of adjustment to Waddle Soul and how easy it is to access Wincon from simple strike throw characters. A lot of depth I've seen in this game kind of disappeared, since characters like Kai or Soul can do like 6S or 6H for Kai into Waddle Soul into guess for game. So again, before your ender would be this, right? Or you do this. Right? Now you just do this, and you, as a character who has quote-unquote bad offense but insane damage, you're getting more chances to get into that high damage because you're building risk and you're getting your turn back while being in their face, which is where you're not supposed to have that, like, Kai and Soul B, right? You need them to get away from you. So, yeah, no, I definitely agree. Yeah, I agree. It makes the game boring, it makes the characters more boring, and it makes it unfun overall, so I agree. Void says, I've thought of 2 pretty radical changes to Asuka, targeted at improving the way Test Case 2 works. So another Test Case 2 enthusiast. I know that one of the previous comments was also talking about Test Case 2. More random import, unable to draw the same spell more than once. That includes not drawing 2 staff spells. This drastically lessens the chance of giving you bad hands. In Test Case 2, the worst possible hand you get is staff plus mana plus import plus chaotic option. In Test Case 3, it would account for things like 4 teleports. Limit imports, so as long as you have a mana spell, you can draw another one. I think what he's saying, okay, so he's saying, okay, if you already have a utility card active, then you can't have it again. So I'm gonna put this in Test Case 3 terms. So basically what he's saying, if I have the green card right here and I use the green card, right, so it's active, basically what he's saying is I can't draw the green card again until it's done. So it wouldn't be here right now, like I wouldn't have it on the left right now. So I guess what he's saying is utility cards, this would give you less of a chance of getting utility cards when you would be looking for it. Like, for example, if I were to get another green card here, right, I wouldn't want it. I would want an attack card, right? Since I already have the green card active. The mana continuous, I guess is the name, right? Yeah, I mean, that would be cool, but I think it's fine as is. I don't really think you should change it, but it's definitely an interesting change. I do agree this would definitely help Test Case 2 though, because I know that there are a lot of spells in this that you actually don't want, right? Yeah, I think it would help that, but overall, like Test Case 3, the main test case, I don't really see the vision. I think it's fine as is in terms of like changes like that, but that was very interesting. So Rat says, I want Potbuster to be a global move. Otherwise, I'm not playing the game and moving back to Angry Birds. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't want to imagine every character having Potemkin Buster, so I will say no to this one. I'm afraid I will disagree with this. Scissors, aka Generic Soda, says, Anji doesn't really need much. He's plenty strong with how he uses Wild Assault. That said, Ko can sometimes drop opponents to the ground between first and second hits, so giving the first hit a vacuum or hard knockdown would be a big consistency fix. Okay, so Ko is obviously the twirling move Anji does in the air. Let me grab Anji right quick. Okay, so one thing people don't really remember, but Ko used to hard knockdown. Like, if you got hit by this, you actually used to get hard knockdown. They ended up, this is like season 1 that they ended up removing it. But before, if you got hit by this, on count, I believe, maybe it was just counter hit, but if you got counter hit by Ko, or just hit, I forgot which one it was, but this used to hard knockdown, but now you can recover, which is huge. I don't think they would revert it, so I'm going to say that they wouldn't do this, but I hear what you're saying. Basically just a quality of life for Anji to give him some more consistent combos. I wouldn't give him the hard knockdown, but if you want to give him like the vacuum, then sure. Festival says, it would be nice if Axel got his 2H to stagger on regular hit. This would allow him to convert even max range 2H with moves such as Ransom or Winter Mantis. I believe Winter Mantis is the command grab and Ransom is the full screen chain move. The only way to combo out of 2H on regular hit right now is Snail, but that whiffs if you hit 2H at max range. So basically this would just give Axel some more, this is quality of life, give him some more consistent combo routing. I'm not sure how big it would be, but sounds reasonable. Next we have Bonbon, Fellows Auto Brother. The new moves for the rest of the base cast. Some nerfs to the top tiers that have been dominating for a long time, like Happy Chaos, Nago, Leo, Ram, etc. Also, a positive bonus nerf along with a burst penalty on Wild Assault. I would also like to see some universal change to whiff recovery. So yes, making whiff actually matter. So whiffing and actually being like, oh damn, I whiffed. That'd be nice. Burst penalty on Wild Assault. I believe the 50 other people have said this, which I agree with as well. Positive bonus nerf, yeah. Nerf to the top tiers. So Happy Chaos, Nago, Leo, Ram. That'd be great. And then obviously the new moves for the rest of the base cast. So Nago, Leo, Chip is obviously just getting his with the tightrope. Zato, I'm probably forgetting someone, but yeah. Soul and Kaya. Next we have Mad Hyper. Mad Hyper says, rework Elphelt because her kit is boring and uninspired compared to her Zerd kit. Her getting a Rekka was not a good substitute for her grenade setups in Oki. I will not speak on this because I did not play Elphelt in the other game. But I do agree that Elphelt is boring. So, yeah, maybe something to make her more cool. I don't think a whole rework with new moves would be in play for Elphelt, but maybe something to make her current kit more fun and enjoyable. So, I agree. As long as she's not broken. Hatsu says, delete Wild Assault from the game, revert Johnny buffs, rework Elphelt, make Slayer have recovery on his normals and specials. Axel specific changes, I'd love if Rinsen wasn't 24 frame startup, uncharged tornado moving horizontally faster, less recovery on zoning buttons, and close slash not being -1. So, if you don't know, in this game, Axel and Faust are the only two characters with -1 block close slashes. So he's saying, but just make them in line with the rest of the cast. And then he's saying, make the tornado uncharged better horizontally. Maybe this is a combo, maybe this will help in combos, or maybe he would want to use it for neutral, I don't really know. Rensen being faster, cool. Delete Walsall from the game, we're with you. Revert Johnny buffs, yeah, Johnny. Rework Elphelt, yeah, as the other person said above. And then make Slayer have recovery on his normals and specials. Yes, nerf Mappa Hunch, nerf 2H. I agree. Athena says, I need minion explosion tweaks. I wanted to not steal your whole minion bar in explosion, but still freeze the recovery on the bar until it actually explodes. So minion explosion isn't something I can really speak on, just because no Jackal player really uses it. The only Jackal player I fought that has used it was King Africa. he used it in some setups, which are interesting, and it does a lot of damage if you can actually get it to work. So yeah, a little quality of life for Jackal. I'm not sure how broken this would be, but let me know if you know more than I do. Neko D says, choose your own Wild Assault color on the character select screen instead of being it tied to a character. No. Some blue Wild Assault characters would be better with orange, which would be scary. I think Milia might be one of those characters, for example. But I think some characters would prefer orange. And obviously there would be the troll people that just pick white Wild Assault. So, no, that'd be crazy. Freesta says, please make Goldburst punishable again. Also, it'd be nice to reduce the snowballing without killing set play characters. Reduce snowballing, I guess from playing Zato, it seems like his snowball is pretty much dried up at a lot of points in the game because of how he can't bait what you're doing anymore with Break the Law, and obviously him being weaker to system mechanics and whatnot. So yeah, I guess maybe make the other characters fall more in line, not exactly with how weak he is to it, but I can see some nerfs to some of the set play characters. And Goldberg's being punishable again, I 100,000,000% agree, yes. Joe Cool, aka Putting FGC, says, character health needs to be a factor when balancing characters' kits, as a lot of the high health characters in this game don't have weaknesses enough to justify having massive health pools. Also, stop making -1 advancing special moves, please. Okay. Oh, also, he says, a few more. Increased reward for IB and IBFD. Deflect shield half circle input. Okay, great. Increased duration on moves like Bandit Revolver. Yes. More whiff recovery on some dominant pokes and special moves. Yes. Returns some season 3 character frame. Oh, retune some season 3 character frame data. Yes. Make ABBA actually have to manage a resource. Yes. These are great. These are actually so great. I agree with every single one. I mean, yeah, not much to say. I agree. That's great, Jokel. I agree. Wandering Human says, delete Guard Crush. Fair enough. Bansuki says, IB buffs. It would be cool if the window for it increased from 2 to 3 to 4, had no chip damage, and gained more burst and meter for it. Okay, meter, sure. Burst, no. No chip damage as well? Fine, that's great. Increasing the IB window? No, sir. Don't do that. No. Don't make IB easy, because then it becomes accessible to everyone, and then it becomes too strong. So, I like it is how it is now. Ari says, I know that Jacko is already solid and doesn't really need buffs, but I wish 2K2D 214P was completely safe on block. 214P is... Oh, you're actually gonna make me get Jacko. Hold on. Okay, so 214P is that the... Yeah, this. If I'm not wrong, is this... Isn't this, like, already, like, really... I don't know the number, but I swear this is, like... Is this not safe? Or maybe I'm tripping. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'm tripping. I thought that was safe. But, okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah, Mitsuki says, give Bedman more guts, faster startup on Saw Blade, and its air, and for the love of God, please make his JD a better hurt box. Every time I get 5p out of it, I cry. These aren't the Bedman changes I was expecting to hear, so forgive me. Bedman more guts though? No, bro. I think his health is fine. Fast startup on Saw Blade. I'm not really sure what he's referring to there. I'm gonna guess he means the spin. Yeah, he means the spin. So the spin, so yeah, fast startup on the spin and its air. Is the spin, the follow-up for the spin is the fire, right? So, okay. I'm not sure how impactful this would be, but sure. Oh, and the next comment says from Peach Babble, sorry. Give Bedman more health / guts. No reason it should be that big a hitbox and that low health compared to some of the other cast. A character that big body shouldn't have less effective health than Mei. I don't really think that's a Bedman thing. I think we should just nerf Mei's HP, maybe. I'm personally not a fan of like nerfing HP. I think we just nerf the characters. I think the HP is... I don't like the high HP, but just balance the characters that have a high HP to actually consider them having high HP, right? Like Slayer, Johnny, Mei, etc. So, but yeah, I think Bedman's health is fine. Fire Ghost says, Dragon installed to replace Heavy Mob Cemetery on Soul. It is fun to land, but it's a huge if. Having DI would be fun. And saying this to the rest of his kit would need to be nerfed though. He's too strong and it carries me out into every bracket. So basically, I'm gonna guess, okay, well, you can't just change the super, but I guess maybe for the new soul move, it's a soul special and it's dragon install, right? Something like that, right? But yeah, I can see what you're saying. You basically just want soul to be more fun and have a useful super, because HMC is pretty useless. It's probably the worst super in the game, so I understand. King Koa says, Axel top 1. He needs it. Oh, but then he says, okay, but actually I feel like in the most matchups he struggles to be a zoner. They just keep buffing his combos and pressure, but I want his poke on block situation to be better. This one I've heard a lot, so yeah, I can see why you say that. Mr. Faust says, better or air normals on Sin, or an air special universal counter hit Rekka back. Oh, okay, bro is just wilding. Okay, yeah, so better air normals on Sin, or an air special universal counter hit Rekka back, which no, because that means Chip would have counter hit Rekka. That means like Baiken would have counter hit Rekka. That means Anju would have like no, please no. Hard knockdown returns. Stop. Less recover on certain moves. Less non-positive bonus meter gain. Okay. Yeah, no. Like, no, please don't return Rekkas, and please don't make Wild of Soul hard knockdown again. Please no. Camd says, I don't want any buffs, I only want nerfs. So basically Camd is saying lower the power level of the game, which Sure. Ren says, I think the biggest thing for me is decreasing the amount of risk every move adds and make it all universal across characters as well. Yeah, no, I mean, this is like the millionth time that we've talked about burst so far in this video. I think it's just like burst needs, or sorry, not burst, risk. Yeah, it's obviously something like no one likes, right? No one likes how much risk is being built while they block. More reward for defending in this game would be nice. That one Jeb guy says, I play mostly Slayer, FY, been waiting for him since launch, but I honestly wish they shot something like, for example, P and K Mappa, in order to put more power into the rest of his kit. For example, the loss of JD's momentum change, formerly his J2K, really sucks, because all of his cooler and more technical routes were his air routing off his anti-air moves, and also let him move a lot less linear and more creatively than how he does in Strive. Yeah, again, I didn't play Slayer in the older game, so I'm gonna assume he's cooler in that game, gameplay wise. Yeah, I definitely, one argument or one thing I'm hearing from Slayer players is they're accepting that the character is gonna get nerfed, so they're starting to just say, well, let's rebalance the strength to the rest of his kit, which, sure, that's something I can see. But it's also something that can be really scary. So, yeah. Fennekin says, let Axel 6H combo on hit. Like a 2K2D? That's fun. It seems like a quality of life, unless I'm tripping. Maybe that's too big. Let me know. But, sure. And lastly, Rain says, God, please give Faust charge dust more than 3 frames to reflect projectiles. Please, it'd be so funny. Sure. It's such a small change that, like, sure. But yeah, that was a lot, and this video is probably pretty long. But to everyone that, sorry if I sound so like dead. I believe it or not, this recording is actually pretty late. It's about like 1:30 in the morning. But regardless, I appreciate everybody that commented. I enjoyed reading and liking and responding to, like, I liked every single tweet, but I enjoyed responding to the ones I did respond to. And obviously, like I said, every comment will be in this video as well. I appreciate everyone. It was a fun little video. I want to hear everyone's thoughts. If you did make it to this point and you listened to every opinion, or if you only listen halfway or some way and then skip to the end, right? Anything that you have, if you didn't see the tweet and you would like to add something, then please put in the comment section below. And then obviously, just let me know if you disagree or agree or would like to tweak anything that has already been said by the people that commented on the post. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for that commented. I will do something like this when the patch drops to get new opinions on how they think the game looks. So yeah, thank you everyone, and yeah, until next time.